Hey, this is a step-by-step tutorial on how to replace your MacBook's battery, so you can actually install a brand new battery and get your MacBook up and running for a couple extra hours. Hey, my name is Shaq, and in this channel I help you fixing tech-related issues, so if you're into tech content, consider subscribing to the channel. In today's video, I'll totally guide you on how to check the status of your battery to know if it's still working well or if it needs to get replaced. And I'll also show you where to buy your MacBook's battery, because depending on your MacBook model, you might be having a slightly different battery. But do not worry, the most important thing is to follow the video till the end and make sure you do not skip any important step in here, otherwise this might cause a few issues for you. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into the tutorial. So here we are on my MacBook Air 2014, but do not worry, the steps are pretty much similar and the tools you're gonna need to perform these are exactly the same that I'll be using today in this video. So the very first thing that I'm gonna show you guys is actually how to check the status of your battery to know if your battery needs to be replaced or not. So the very first signal that your battery needs to be replaced is located right here on the battery logo. So let's quickly tap here on the battery logo. And as you guys can see in here, we've got a message which says service recommended. And then we've got in here an exclamation mark right here. What Apple did is on its latest software versions, they've provided us a facility that lets us know the status of our battery by simply tapping here on the battery. And as you guys can see in here, I've tapped on the battery. It says the battery's capacity is significantly reduced. To restore capacity, please check your service options. Okay, so this battery needs to be replaced right here in this computer right here. Okay, and the other thing that you guys need to double check is the battery cycles of the battery. What does a battery cycle mean, Shaq? Basically, a battery cycle represents a fully discharge of your battery from 100% all the way to 0%. So as time keeps passing, your battery keeps on counting cycles, okay? And the more you use, the less it's gonna last with charge on it. And that's because battery is made up of lithium, which keeps on losing quality as your battery keeps on aging. So in order to check the battery cycles that you've got, you need to tap here on the Apple on the top left corner, and then you need to tap here on about this Mac, which is the first option, and then we're gonna tap here in system report, which is located right here. Once we tap here on system report, we've got in here a whole bunch of categories right here, and we're gonna scroll down all the way to power. Okay, it's located right here on P. We're gonna tap here on power, and then right here we're gonna search for cycle count, which is located right here. Okay, so cycle count is here on the health information, and as you guys can see, my battery has a cycle count of 249 cycles, which is actually not bad at all. So normally the batteries start to lose its performance when it reaches to 600 battery cycles. So I would definitely recommend you guys to change your battery if it reaches to 900 to 1000 cycles, which is something that you normally achieve in 5 years. I wouldn't recommend you guys changing your battery at 500 or 600 unless your battery starts discharging really fast, because we have another factors that influence the fast degradation of your battery, which are temperature. If you actually live in a place where you have a lot of high temperature, this might affect to lose its performance fast. So this is how you check your battery status. Now let's move into the hardware part where we're gonna actually change our battery. So the very first thing we gotta do is turn off your computer by shutting it down. Okay, disconnect everything that you have connected in USB and disconnect your charger as well from your computer. Make sure it fully turns off, and then we're gonna close our MacBook and we're gonna flip our MacBook upside down. Okay, So here we are, my MacBook is now flipped, and in order to open our MacBook, we're gonna need a screwdriver, which is this one right here, which is the P5 Pentalobe 1.2 screwdriver. In order to buy the screwdriver, it's very cheap. You can buy it from the link in the description box below. And you can also check the different battery models down below in the link in the description box below according to your MacBook model. So let's quickly unscrew our MacBook right here by removing all these screws that we've got in here in the corners, okay, and these two as well. Now let's use the screwdriver and let's remove all the screws. Let me start from this one here in the top left corner. Unscrewing all the screws from our MacBook. I'm quickly unscrewing all the screws from my MacBook right here, which is a pretty simple process. All you need to do is just unscrew it to the left. Here we go, here we go. Now you should be careful with these two last screws here at the top because they're normally longer than the other ones, as you guys can see right here. So make sure you keep them aside so you do not confuse yourself, and make sure you place the exact correct screw back into the correct position. Once we're done unscrewing our MacBook, we're gonna gently lift it up here from the top. Please be very careful and gentle because in some MacBooks, we've got in here a few connectors connected into our motherboard. So you wanna be gentle while lifting it up to make sure that you do not rip any wire or cable that you might be having connected into your MacBook. In my case, I don't have any wire connected. So all I need to do is just simply lift it up, and we're gonna keep the panel aside. So this is how our MacBook looks like inside, and this is what we call the motherboard. We've got many components in here, and we're gonna search for the battery. So the battery is basically made up of cells. My battery is right here, which is made up of 1, 2, 3, and 4 cells, okay? So do not worry if you find a hard time locating your battery, which is pretty easy to find, which is the biggest component right here. You can check it online while searching for your battery model, and then you can easily locate your battery. The battery is normally located here at this area right here, and it's connected to the motherboard by one single connection. In my case, it's this one right here that connects the battery from here. It's normally here or here in the middle or here at the right. Okay, that's very easy. And if you have any doubt, please leave a comment down below or send me a DM on Instagram, and I'll be very happy to guide you finding the connector to your motherboard. So the very first thing we're gonna do in here is disconnect our battery from our motherboard. So my connection is right here, and in order to disconnect here, it's very simple. All I need to do is just lift up this connector right here. As you guys can see, I've lifted it up. And in some computers you might need to pull it down, okay? Pull it down. In my case it's up, but in a few connections it's down. And please make sure to see if the connection is not here or here. So once we're done disconnecting our battery connector from our motherboard, it's very easy to actually remove the battery from here. The battery is mainly attached to the computer by means of a few more screws. In my case, we've got one screw in here, we've got one screw in here, we've got one screw in here, we've got one screw here at the left, and one here at the top. Okay, so all we need to do is just unscrew all these screws right here, which is very easy. They normally have screws on the corners, so make sure you double check all the corners of your battery to find screws. Now let's quickly unscrew the screws right here. In my case, my battery is not original, so the screws that I've got in here are the normal cross one, so I'm gonna be using another screwdriver. But in your case, it pretty much is the same screwdriver that you're gonna need to unscrew all the screws. And another thing is that I've lost my screws in here because I've opened my laptop many times here on the channel to showcase many tutorials, so I ended up losing these tiny screws and I only have one screw here. So I'm gonna unscrew this one screw right here, but in your case you can also unscrew another screws as well. So here we go, the screw is now out. I'm gonna keep it aside, and once we're done removing all the screws from our battery, you're gonna gently pull up from the sides, okay, a little bit from the left and then a little bit from the right, okay, a little bit from the left, a little bit from the right, and then you're gonna simply gently pull up the battery. And here we go, my battery has been completely removed from my computer. Now, another thing that shows that you have a faulty battery is if your battery is actually swollen, okay? So if you find any swollen area in here, this means that your battery is actually damaged and something is wrong with it and it requires immediate replacement. Okay, so once you remove your battery, it's very easy to actually install a new battery. The battery is gonna be exactly the same as yours, so all you need to do is just put it back slowly. First you're gonna put the down part of the battery and then you're gonna let it go by leaving the upper part down. So here we go, we're now well set. We're gonna screw back all the screws into our MacBook. In my case, it's only one, unfortunately. Make sure you guys do not lose your screws just like I did. Be very careful, these are tiny screws right here. Once you're done screwing all the screws, we're gonna gently reconnect the connector right here, which is a pretty simple process. As you guys can see, in my case, I just need to push it down, so it's gonna be something like this, and it's reconnected. In your case, if it's something that you need to connect it like this inside, do not worry, simply do it gently, and then we're gonna close the back panel and reattach the screws and then turn on our MacBook back on. So here we go. As always guys, you're gonna first put the lower part of the panel here and then you're gonna lay the upper part down. Okay, this is how it goes. First the lower and then the upper part. And then we're gonna start by screwing this top two screws right here, which are the longer ones, okay, with our Pentalo P5 screwdriver. Here we go, screwing it back in. Let's go, one more right here. Here we go. Here we go. Here as well. Here we go. Here we go. And then the last screws right here. One screw right here. And then the last one right here. So congratulations, you've successfully replaced your MacBook battery, and the very first thing you want to do after replacing the battery is actually trying to turn on your MacBook to see if everything's fine. Now, if you find any doubt, if you have any problem throughout this process, do not worry, leave a comment down below in the comment section if you have any doubt, and I'll be more than happy to respond to you. Now, another thing that I would recommend is to you guys to make sure you guys charge your MacBook from 0 all the way to 100%, fully charge it before using your new battery, okay? As this is going to help you calibrating your brand new battery, so you can have a much better performance with your new battery. So this was it for today, guys. Thank you so much for making it till the end of the video, and if you find my content useful here on YouTube, consider subscribing, as it helps me to get recommended on YouTube as well, so that I can help more people facing the same problem as yours. Thanks for watching Fixed by Shaq, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.